What's going on, all my toy collectors and Nintendo fans out there? You know who it is. It's your boy Jakks, and welcome to the Cave of Wonders. Now today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new 2023 Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong 4-inch action figure line by Jakks Specific. Not to get confused with the Mario movie Jakks Specific toys, this Donkey Kong is in his own standalone line right here. Now I'm not sure how many figures are going to be released in what wave. These are the only two figures that I were able to find, and I don't see any other figures on the back of the box. So I was able to find these at Walmart for about $9.99. So let's go ahead and crack these babies open and take a closer look. Stay tuned. Okay, starting off with Kong himself, this right here is the front of the box. You can see a clear package window showing you the figure that's inside and his accessories. Right here on the bottom lets you know the name of the character we're going to be looking at, which is Donkey Kong, and then the company that makes these figures, which is Jakks Specific. Then right here you can see a really cool image of Donkey Kong as well, and then the name of the video game that these figures are from, which is called Donkey Kong as well. Now I've already measured this box out for you guys. It's 6.5 inches long by almost 9 inches tall by 3 inches in depth. So that's how much shelf space you're going to need if you're going to be displaying this on a peg or up on a shelf. Okay, guys? Let's go ahead and turn it around and take a look. On the back right there, you can see the figure right there. You can see that he is posable. He has different poses that you can put him in. Right here it just tells you, Donkey Kong with bananas. While he is content to relax on his island with his family and his banana horde, it seems Donkey Kong can never catch a break. Let you know some of the action features he has, 13 points of articulation. And then like I told you guys in the beginning, the opening of this review, that I only ever seen this other figure. So I don't know how many other figures they're going to be making in this line. If they're going to be making the grandpa or anybody else. So far, I just seen these two. And I found these at Walmart for, I think it was like $9.99 or $10, okay? That right there is the barcode and all the other information. Let's go ahead and pop this baby open, okay? Okay, now here's Kong out of the box. You can see his little banana accessories right here. This actually doesn't fit in his hand or connect anyway to like his body or anything like that. He doesn't have like open fist or closed fist, so this is just for show, maybe to sit next to him. But nothing, they don't come apart or anything like that, or he can't hold them at all. Now the figure itself measures out to 5 inches tall, right up here at the top of his little swooshing hair right there. I'm sure if you bend his knees up and lift him, he might be like 5.5 inches. But right now, standing like he is, he's 5 inches, okay? Taking a look at him up close, he looks really good. Jakks Specific did a really good job on making this figure, look just like Donkey Kong that I remember. Because I remember playing Donkey Kong on Super Nintendo. He would have been on Super Nintendo in my area. I know, on my era of life, basically. Because that's when I first discovered playing him, was on my SNES. So... But yeah, really cool looking figure. Let's go over the articulation real quick. The tie is loose, so you don't got to worry about that. I'm sure his head, because it is on a ball joint, it might pop off. You could take his tie off, but I'm not going to try and pop it off. But I'll go over the articulation of his head. It is on a ball joint, so it does rotate all the way around. It can't go down anymore because of how big his chin is right there, but it does go up pretty far. Just like that, and I'm sure that's meant to be like that. That way, if he's walking on his, walking on his knuckles like that, he can look all the way up. So that's probably why his head's able to, go all the way up the way it is, just like that. Now his arms do rotate all the way around. You can bend him in, you can bend him out like that. His elbows do bend, not very far, but they do bend just that much, but they don't rotate at the elbow at all. His wrists do rotate. They might kind of look funny if you rotate them like this because of how oval his fur is right there, but they do rotate. His legs, they do rotate around if you guys want them to, just like that. They do go out. They do bend back in. His knees do bend, but they don't rotate at the knees at all. And then his feet do rotate around. They don't go up and down or rock side to side or anything like that, but they do rotate all the way around. But yeah, for this figure only being, I think this figure was $9.99. I thought it was a pretty good deal. Like I said, for the size, the articulation, just the way it looks, just to go ahead and throw it up on my shelf or throw it next to my Super Nintendo, I thought it would be a pretty good, pretty good plan. I don't know how many of these figures they're going to end up making. But so far I just got these two, but I will buy more if they end up coming back out with them. So, but yeah, pretty cool looking figure. Let's move on to Diddy, all right? Okay, up next we got my boy Diddy Kong. This right here is the front of the box. You can see just like Kong has that clear package window showing you the figure and the accessories inside. Let you know the name of the character we're going to be looking at, which is Diddy Kong by Jakks Specific Toys by the same video game, Donkey Kong. This package has the same measurements as the last one, 6.5 inches long by 9 inches tall by 3 inches in depth, okay? Let's go ahead and take a look at the back. You can see a cool pose you can put this figure in right there. A little bio on him: Diddy Kong with DK barrel, Donkey Kong's little buddy. He's famous for his quickness and his long tail. He spends some of his time playing music and competing in races, and he's also an expert in using barrels. This right here is some of his action features: 14 points of articulation, and this is the figure that we just looked at, Donkey Kong. Let's go ahead and crack this baby out of the box. Okay, now here's Diddy Kong out of the box. You can see it comes with this little DK barrel. Now, he can't actually hold this barrel. I tried lifting his hands up and putting it in there, but there's no way he can hold the weight of this. It just falls right out or whatever. Just kind of rolls right off the back of his hat or whatever. But yeah, pretty cool looking barrel. It doesn't open up or anything like that. You can't put any kind of accessories in there. I tried opening the top and the bottom, but I guess it just looks cool. It's just something cool to sit next to them. So the paint is really well. The mold, but like I said, it's it doesn't do anything basically, but it does look cool, sitting next to these two figures. And taking a look at Diddy up close, you can see he has the Nintendo on his hat just like it did in the video games. You can see how the texture, just like you've seen in Kong, on his fur right there on the plastic. His typical shirt that he always ends up wearing. Now, taking a look at his articulation, his head does rotate around, but it doesn't go up and it doesn't go down at all, which is kind of weird because, just like Kong, we're going to want him running on his hands. You would like to have his head pointed up, but it doesn't go up at all. It just kind of rotates back and forth. So that's kind of a bummer, but I'm not going to trip too much for the $10 price point of what I paid for these figures. Like I said, it does rotate around. His arms do come out like that. They do rotate around right up there at the shoulder. His elbows do bend, but they don't rotate, but his hand does rotate around. You can't like unhook his finger from his hand. You can kind of bend these a little bit, but his finger is connected to the thumb right there, so you can't get anything in between there. So it's not like his hand is meant to open, even though it's open right there, like you would put like a weapon or something inside of it. But his finger is actually, the plastic is connected to his thumb on both hands. Okay, no kind of ab crunch or anything like that. His foot does bend out like that. His leg up at the top, it does rotate around. His knee does bend, but it doesn't rotate. And his foot, just like Kong, it does rotate around, but it doesn't go up or down or anything like that to help with him like standing up. As far as him standing, you just bend his knees, kind of move his feet around in order to get him to stand up. One of my major issues with Jakks specific, why I kind of stopped collecting some of the Sonic figures, is because with these, it does feel a little loose, but it hasn't given me any issues yet. But these were brand new, and I didn't even play with these. And it's very hard for me to get him to stand up. Almost all the Sonic figures, even the Dr. Robotnik, he just tips over. So no matter how I try and like stand these guys, it's like they're too top heavy. Not just too top heavy, but the joints are extremely loose. It's like, like that. Like, it's like, what the heck? Like, that people are going to want to stand these figures up and display them, and yet they can't even hold their own weight half the time. So a lot of times I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up probably putting maybe some glue in here, some like clear glue, and then wiggling it little by little to let it like dry. And then, but not dry like stuck stiff, but, add in some gunk into them joints to maybe help it not be so flimsy. That way I can get these figures to stand up. But I don't have this issue with these guys, at least not yet, because like I said, I just opened these out of the box, but I didn't even play with them Sonic figures. I just ripped them out the box and displayed them, and somehow they just, they don't stand up at all. All the joints were loose right out of the box. These joints aren't that loose. They're not like stiff or anything like that, but they're not crazy loose either. And I don't think I'm going to have any trouble standing these guys up. But yeah, let's go ahead and see these two together. Okay, here are both the figures together. As you can see, Kong is bigger. Like I said, he's 5 inches. He's 4 inches. But I wanted to show you guys that even though his hands aren't open, he still can't even hold this barrel. His arms can't even push together like that in order to hold this barrel. And Diddy can't hold this barrel either. So it's just something that you're gonna have to sit in the background and maybe have him standing on it or something. But it's not something they can actually hold and maybe throw. And also, I forgot to mention that his tail does rotate, but he doesn't need it to help him stand or anything. Okay, he'll end up standing all by himself. But yeah, pretty cool looking figures. Like I said, price point $9.99. I think that's a pretty good deal, and I don't see too much issues with the loose joints that's gonna cause these figures to tip over. Not like I did with the Sonic. Okay, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I got these from Walmart. I'm not sure if they're a Walmart exclusive, but that's where I was able to get them from. Okay, guys. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And until next time, stay cool.